Hello and welcome to That Random Model. I didn't do it. Oh. Hi Mark III. Today's video is the Volkswagen Golf Mark III CL or GL version. You can take your choice whichever one you want to make. It is a 1/24 scale by Fujimi. Start off with the instructions. It shows which one you want to do, CL or GL. Now this is a model that was made from 1992 to 1998 before it was replaced by the Mark IV, obviously. And it came in 3-door body styles or 5-door. This is 5 doors, including this is a door. They had a convertible version, which they called the Cabrio, and then they had a variant or a wagon version that they called the Golf variant, and some markets might have called it the Estate. But what I was going to get at is that shortly before this model came out, a lot of cars, especially imported cars, had black plastic bumpers on the front and back, and sometimes body trim that was black. And before this one came out, a lot of cars were sold with only one mirror, whichever side of the road you drove on. Whatever side of the car you sat on, I should say, is the mirror that you got. For instance, in the United States and 90% of the world, you'd have the left mirror, and if you were on one of the 3 countries that drive on the right-hand side, you got a right-hand drive mirror. That was even something that they would advertise. That car might have a spare and a right-hand mirror and body-colored molding. So it was different times. Inside the instructions, very simple layout. This one has the choice of left and right hand drive dashboards, and that also carries over to where the instrument cluster sits and where the automatic transmission, which way it orients. You even have an option to cut the hood open and show a very simplistic display of the engine. So this could be done as a curbside kit, as we know is what we would see by the side of the road, or something that's a little bit more in-depth with an engine. You can display that in case you wanted to. It shows you how to remove the hood right there. And this also has an option for a sunroof, so you can also cut through that, and it has glass for the sunroof as well, because that would have been an option on the GL version, not the CL version. So depending on which one you're wanting to do, depends on what options you get. For instance, as we saw right here, you have the choice of standard or automatic transmissions, for instance. So, and even, does this one come with different steering wheels? Some of these come with different steering wheels, as I was going to allude to. This is nice. Some of the newer kits come with masking for the windows, and here are your decals. And in case you wanted the, let's see, this is the CL and this is the GL decals. The difference being basically the emblem. They don't even change the dashboard, or sorry, the instrument cluster. Not the instrument cluster, the license plates don't even have a variant between those. Here are your pieces. So we've got the grille, which comes as a separate piece, so you can paint that body color, or you can paint it black, as well as the mirrors. Also, part of the underside, I believe this is on the front. The glass and clear bits, including your headlight bezels, lenses, and your taillight lenses. There is one of the markers got loose in here, looks like. And your sunroof option. Rubber tires, squishy, squishy. Open this up and take a closer look at it. We are going to do this right. Here is your right hand and left hand drive variants, as well as your front bucket seats. Don't get me started on limericks. Here are your different left and right side consoles. They go right here. Your handbrake and your molded in rear seats. Now, this looks very simple, and granted, it is a very simple kit. Fujimis are known for their very simplistic kits. However, the optional engine, which is pretty nice. This is your 1.8 liter 4-cylinder, I'm pretty sure. But even though they're simple, what you can do with these is much more exciting. So there's your underside, which most pieces are molded in. You've got your different parts for the suspension. You've got your left and right hand drive wipers. Very important in case you're using one or the other. Your steering wheel. Here is your different automatic selectors, your gearbox for a stick, and then your handbrake. You've got European plate parts. What's your handbrake? What's this? I don't know offhand. Oh, that's your antenna. It's your little happy antenna that sits at the back. Right there. And then your front suspension. No, your rear suspension, your front suspension, your subframe with the anti-spray bars rolled in. This is always a neat little thing to spray bright yellow, red, or green, or even blue to make it look like an aftermarket part. If you like to examine your car afterwards, a lot of people like to weather these. It's a lot of fun, even if you're not going to see very much of it and you're just going to do it for practice. Here is your rims that come with this, and these are something I wanted specifically. I got this version for a specific build, which I wanted these rims for. Your 5-spoke standard rims, and this was apparently available on either the CL or GL trim, probably an option on the CL, as opposed to standard Steely rims. Not Steely Dan, Steely rims. What they used to call rims back in the day that were just plain Jane, maybe had a hubcap on them. Maybe not. Here is your classic 5-door car. Hatchbacks in some markets are referred to as 5 doors. There is your body. And this is a very versatile and very well-known car. Many people, if they don't have an experience with this, maybe it was a family car that they used for a while, maybe it was their first car that they drove, or maybe they learned how to drive a car in. It might have been a car that you lost things in. Might not be getting those back. But it's still a fun and versatile kit. And there's so many things you could do with it. There were so many additions to that this came in. There were some in Europe that came for rock and roll touring edition. So you had Pink Floyd, you had the Rolling Stones, you had a few other options. You had custom colors that this would come in. Of course, you had your GTI version that had the body colored molding around the side was red, or at least a part of it. It wasn't super big, but you had a lot of options on what you could do with this, and so many people either had these or had experiences with them, and they're remembered very fondly to this day. It was a very pedestrian car. It's not exciting. Personally, I love hatchbacks. They're one of my favorite designs, and just as advertised, you have your cutout here so that you could trim out the moonroof if you want to, the sunroof. It would be a sunroof on this one, not a moonroof. Oh no, I take that back. It is a moonroof. That's what they called them back then. If it was glass, it was a moonroof. If it was a solid piece of metal, which some cars had, it was called a sunroof. Nowadays, they're all just called sunroofs, or now you have pano roofs, etc. So, like I was saying, there were so many people that have experiences with these. Worldwide, they were built in, I believe, 5 or 7 places worldwide. 5 or 7 countries worldwide. They were sold all over the world, and they sold nearly 5 million of them between 1992 and 1998. Now, there was the convertible version, the Cabrio. That was sold from 94 to 2002. So if you do see a Cabrio, it's possible that it isn't a different, it's a different year. Now, one of the things I really like about Fujimi kits is options. This is a car based on the GTI Cox edition. Cox is if you're familiar at all with BMW, BMW has a lot of aftermarket companies like Alpina or Dinan, which would take the car and they would tune it. Cox is one of them. In the United States, they had a New Speed would do this, but in Germany, they have Cox. And basically what this is the same car with different rims and different decals. These decals. Now, you have your Cox plates as well as your various trim levels. So this is the 628 SI and your 420 SI. I believe this is a 2.8 and a 2-liter is what that is. And the 16V for your 16 valves engine. That would be 4 valves per cylinder at the time. That was cutting edge technology. GTIs were known for this. And this is, you got your Cox emblems. I think this might be a unique speedometer for this version. If not, it might be a specific for the GTIs. You've got your emblems here, the 628 SI and your 420 SI 16 valves, and of course your GTI badges as well. This one also comes with badges for a VR6. It's kind of hard to see right here, but if you can zoom in, take a picture with your viewing device and zoom in on it later. This is really nice. Now this one, the moonroof didn't make it. So we can say a few words off camera in remembrance of that piece. As with the other car, your main parts were molded in black. This body is also molded in black, as seen on the box art. And you get Cox specific wheels. So these are specific to this trim level, but you still have the option to cut out the moonroof or not. You still have the option to with the automatic and the manual gear selectors. You have those options, and this makes a really, really fun kit. Now, like I said, this is Fujimi. Fujimi's known for this. They had many versions of these, which they would call on different series. I think one of these is the Real Sports series. Real Sports, and then the number in the series that it is. This one is also a Real Sports, number 27. Sorry about the blurriness, but you have your options in picking how you want to do this, which for a modeler, that's probably the best thing you do. Now, I know you're looking at this and you're thinking, wow, that's a great looking car. I think that would look super like that, and you'd be right. You might even do some research on Cox like I did and find out some information on this and see what kind of company they were, what kind of cars that they specialized in, and you might sit there and go, that's exactly what I want to think. Or you're like me, and you say, nope, I want to go with something a little different. I want to go with something a little bit more odd or bizarre, and and do something like that. If you want to know what I'm going to do with this one, I'm actually going to build a team. 2 of these, not these 2, but there's going to be 2 of these that are very similar to each other. And the 3rd one is going to be something a little different and special coming up. I don't know how soon I'm going to get to this. Like always, I usually have a whole bunch of things on my plate. Right now I've got pieces of a Ferrari all over my desk. It's the Ferrari that you saw, the Ferrari Mythos. That is coming along quite nicely. I've got a lot of items painted, like these rims. I've got these rims looking pretty nice in gold right now. The body's still being worked on, but it's coming along nicely. And you can always get, like those rims I just got, those are aftermarket rims. You can always get these aftermarket pieces to really dress up your kit, make it look nice, make it look something special, something that's you. You could do this in whichever version you like. You can do it in different things. You can do it without the, well, this one probably didn't come without the mirrors, at least in the United States. But they sold 5 million of these. There shouldn't be a person out there that doesn't have some kind of experience. Either they didn't own it, they had a friend that did, or maybe it was a car that they wanted. Maybe they knew what a GTI was like, and they really thought that was going to be the hot hatch for them to get. I mean, the GTI, the original Mark 1 GTI, was the reason why they started calling the cars of this body style the hot hatch. So this is a legend. This, when I was doing research on Wikipedia, it actually said that this is one of the reasons for the diesel crazes in Europe at the time. They had bumped up the engine displacement. They had added a little bit more power and a lot more versatility to it, and gave it an appeal to the mass market in Europe. So they not only had the GTI variants, but they also had what was called a GTD, which stood for instead of GTI, Gran Turismo Injected, you had Gran Turismo Diesel. So you had the beginning of the diesel craze in Europe. You had the beginning of the pedestrian car craze. This is something that you saw everywhere, no matter what country you're in. If you didn't see these in Europe, you probably saw someone that had a Peugeot or a Citroen, something like that. Maybe another European car like the Opel. And that is your basic kit. Thank you so much for coming on and enjoying this with me. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, I would love to hear how you would build this. Would you do something crazy? Make it look like something that has a big body kit on it. There's versions of this resin versions for body kits, Pan Am body kits on eBay. There is the Golf Sport Wagon variant is there's a version of that on eBay in resin, or you can just get the body and then build this up with the rest of the kit. There's a lot of things you can do with this. There's a lot of fun you can have. There's a lot of different colors. Little foreshadowing there. There's a lot of different colors that you can do for these, and a lot of fun to be had. So the People's Car Golf CLGL. This is your video, and everybody, thank you so much for watching. You have a very good day, and enjoy the hobby.